Good morning, everybody. I'm numerologist Sue Coffin, and today Dorothy Morgan, astrologer Dorothy Morgan, and I are discussing some of the planets. It's for Venus, right?
Yeah,
Venus is going retrograde, and I
she
guess
is.
she's going to go a little bit longer than usual. So Dorothy reached out to me and asked if we wanted a little bit of time to discuss it and find out why we might all be feeling a little more anxious than normal. So, hi
Yeah.
Dorothy, how are you?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. So yeah, what we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about the astrology. I'll show you a couple slides too, just so you can grab the dates
Nice.
for your own calendars, right? But we're going to talk about Venus retrograde in Capricorn, and she's conjunct Pluto right now. We're going to talk about that. And then we also have Mercury getting ready to retrograde as well. So they're going to be retrograding at the same time. Now, Venus only retrogrades once every about 18 months or so. However, she retrogrades only in 5 signs. And so we can look back to certain time periods to sort of get a clue or some insight into what was happening the last time Venus was retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. And that was from December, it was December 21st, 2013. And it went retrograde all the way until January 30th, 2014. So look at that time frame, and I'm going to give you words and insight about what it might represent. So Venus is what, there's a number of things. She's what we love, what we value, it's finances, it's our relationships. Those are the 4 biggies. And self-esteem, we're going to add self-esteem, because when I say what I value, I'm actually including that, but that's just in my head. So I would say that out loud.
Yeah.
So it's our self-esteem as well. So put those words down. And then next to that, we have the energy of what Capricorn represents, because that's the sign she is moving through. She retrogrades, by the way, it's a little Bible reference, 40 days and 40 nights. She has that pattern.
Oh,
It's,
wow.
yeah, and oh, I don't even know what number Venus resonates to. If you could, I've never even thought of that, what that is.
Yeah. You keep talking. I
I'll
can
keep
find
talking.
it.
Okay, yeah, that's a cool way to do. So Venus, all those keywords in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is, am I stable? What is stability to me? What feels solid? Where do I feel, excuse me, reliable, dependable? Do I feel like I have authority? Do I feel this wisdom? It's all of these. So we're combining how secure I feel is really it in a nutshell. How secure I feel in either my relationships, those keywords I just said, my relationships, my finances, what I value, what's important to me. Now, this planet, Venus in Capricorn, is now in the same location as Pluto in Capricorn. They're exactly the same degree. And I'm going to share my screen just so you can get a quick peek at, there
I would
it is.
suspect that Venus is 6.
Yeah.
Because 6 is all about love and relationships and home, domestic.
Yeah. 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 And so we also have Venus. I'm calling it pandemic Pluto. Pluto. And the reason I say that is because Pluto, so here's some other keywords, since Venus is retrograde and conjunct Pluto. She retrogrades on December 19th. Pluto represents those deep changes, those deep, just the things that where we must transform, transmutate. And how does that happen? Is things need to end, things need to die or go away or released. So that makes room for what is new. Now, that doesn't mean all of those categories are things are going to die or leave in those categories, relationships and, your finances. But what you want to do is you want to look at those, whatever is resonating for you, and look at how you can feel more secure in those areas, or make it so, have that deep conversation with that person that you're in a very important relationship with. Have that deep conversation. And it's not just one conversation. It is when this type of work, this deep work goes on, it takes a long time. It is one layer after another, because Pluto wants us to go to the absolute bottom of the situation, and do your duty. So if it's with relationships, you and that other person have some work to do if you choose to do that. Or you can choose to release that relationship so you can then start a healing process. Same thing with your finances, same thing with whatever it is you value. And the energy of this lately, I mean, I've been seeing it. I know you have too, Susan. People are feeling anxious and very heavy and depressed. And, because we've been dealing with this for such a long time.
Right.
And this feels like I don't know if it's ever going to be the final straw, because things just constantly are evolving, right?
And a lot of times I've found that people don't even really know why they're feeling the way they do.
That's right. Yeah.
But I think it's a process that we're all being asked to go into and look deeper into our life and look deeper into the people around us and try to have a better understanding, because we've lived very superficially for a long time.
Yes.
Because nothing was wrong. And
Yeah.
when something's wrong, then we have to look a little deeper.
Yeah.
And that's what January will be in numerology, will be the 7. And the 7 is all about looking deep, self-reflection.
And this is going to be a good time for it. So the details of it, if you know your own astrology, you can look to where 26 degrees of Capricorn is. Pluto's been hanging out there for a long time, because Pluto will only move 3 or 4 degrees in a year. And then, so you're already feeling a rumble, a change, something very important is happening somewhere in your chart, right? And so that. For me, it's on my midheaven. The midheaven, here's an example, is the career. It's the career point. It's your public image. And I've used this time frame to just launch a new website. So we scrapped the old one. We didn't even try and fix that one. It was fine, but it was so old. So we built from new. And there's a lot of changes that still have to happen, which I'm doing during Venus retrograde. It's like getting divorced. You have to change your name and
right.
And so for me, see, this is something that I'm focused on. That's really important to me, because it's how I'm presented out into the world. And again, of course, it's my livelihood and it's my income. So it's all these Venus and Capricorn things. So that's a personal explanation of how it works for me. It's a lot of work. It's overwhelming sometimes. However, one step at a time. It's never a
But the interesting thing is, if you reached out to an astrologer, to you, or to a numerologist, we can box that in for you. We can help you to understand where you can try to settle in and try to focus.
Yeah. It's like settling in for the winter, for us here in the Northern Hemisphere, especially here in New England. It's like, all right, get my sweater on, constantly always wearing my slippers. You're settling in. The sun hits the trees by 3 PM, and that's just, by then I feels like 6 feels like 10 at night. I'm just
right. But it's like watching the weather forecast, right?
Yeah.
We know when to bring in extra wood, or we know when we're going to need to heat up our house a little bit more. That's so different than astrology and numerology.
Right.
We have the ability to help you understand what's going on at certain times in your life to help guide you and keep you focused.
It's perfect. Exactly. So when you listen to, there's a lot of astrology forecasting out there that is seriously doom and gloom. And it hurts my heart to see that, because I guess if that's what you're going to focus on and you're going to feel that way, then I get it. That's just that those are your choices, because we do have choices. Can't control what's going on outside of us, but we can look at what's going on inside and make those decisions on how will I handle this? What
Right.
is in my control? And again, going back to Venus in Capricorn, and while it's retrograde, just to be clear, this is when we are going within and we're evaluating what is of value to us, or our finances, Venus, our relationships, Venus. And again, conjunct Pluto, this means this is a very deep and important time to do your work and to grow. It does not
Now,
have to be scary. It's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity.
when Mercury is in retrograde,
That's
for
next.
everybody who doesn't know me, I don't have a lot of astrology knowledge. So
Yeah.
that's why I reach out to Dorothy, and she's brilliant when it comes to astrology. But
Thank you.
there's certain times when Mercury is retrograde that are
Mhm.
peak times that we watched. Is that the same for Venus? Is there a peak time? that
Well,
she-
it's the full, it's the peak, the periods when Venus or any of the planets, those beginning and ending dates, those are when so for Venus, since her motion, she's staying within 1 degree of the retrogrades for a whole week. So actually, as of December 8th, Venus was actually very close to the number that she's retrograding at, which is 26 Capricorn. She's only 1 degree away. So those days. So honestly, with Venus, we've got, a week or so on either side of these dates you see on the screen, December 19th, January 29th, a week on either side, because the planet doesn't move in our perspective from here on Earth. Of course, it never stops moving. We can't do that. We get sucked into the sun. I'm not sure what would happen if they stopped moving. Anyways, I'm not a scientist like that. But anyways, those are big days. But again, since she is making her conjunction to Pluto in that time period, which is the second batch of dates, December 11th to the 29th, those are really going to be very significant. So 26 degrees of Capricorn, where is that in your astrology chart? So if you don't know, wherever you see this, you're welcome to email me or just go to my website, DorothyMorganAstrologer.com, and send me a message with your birth info, and I can tell you where this is.
Yeah.
But if you need more, you can also book a session.
Right.
But,
which I highly recommend.
Yeah,
Dorothy's
it's
very
important.
good.
It's important to know where these really big,
Right.
significant things are. And one of the other things with this, in this time frame, no, I'll leave that for last. Mercury is also retrograde. Let me write this down. I don't want to forget this piece. It's generally speaking. Let's see if there's anything else about the Venus. The other thing about the Venus retrograde, Venus represents socializing. I'll go back to the slide, socializing and gathering with people. And as it's retrograde and on Pluto and in Capricorn, this is governments doing that lockdown, shutdown again. And
Yeah, I see that.
that's happening in waves in different places across the world.
Mhm.
Yeah. Power and control of Pluto
Yeah.
in Capricorn.
Mm.
We're shifting out of, we're going to shift. We're shifting. The planet's shifting. It won't happen overnight by any means, but we're definitely in a shift here. And so now Mercury retrograde, this time around, Mercury usually when it retrogrades in a year time frame, it stays in the same element. That means the zodiac sign has an element. So Aquarius is air, Capricorn is earth. So 2021, all of Mercury retrogrades were in air. That's information. So we were, funny that, huh? Considering our world circumstances, information. What is the information we are receiving? Is it real? Is it not real? Is it oh my gosh, overwhelmed with too much information because of Mercury retrograde and all the air signs last year. And January 14th, 2022 to February 3rd, 2022, again, Mercury starts its retrograde in an air sign in Aquarius, information, and it goes back and makes its conjunction to Pluto, and that's where it turns around in its in its stage from reverse to direct again. So it goes in back into the earthy energy. Can I ground this? You know, what is the truth? How does this feel? This is some shift you had mentioned before we started recording, as there's some sort of shift in January. This could be information really coming. I mean, information is leaking out about all kinds of different things, excuse me, these last couple of weeks. And just with the news I read, I don't watch the hype stuff on TV. I just like to read what I want to know. And so it does conjunct Pluto from January 28th to February 11th. So in those time frames as well, there will be some things that are coming to the surface for us to, again, see what's the truth, what's happening. That's out in the world. However, what do you want to do with it? Look at what you've been thinking, what you have stuck in your head. People will be changing their minds about certain things. Because
For numerology, January will be a 7 universal month.
yeah,
And 7 is all about research and study and digging below the surface and looking at things in maybe a different way. It also requires a lot of self-reflection. Where have I
perfect.
been? Where am I now? Where am I going?
Perfect for Pluto.
You have to be careful of health when 7 is around, because it wants you to slow down. And if you don't slow down, it has a tendency to slow you down. So sleep more, relax, meditate, just allow yourself to dig deeper. That's all.
Yeah. And it's self-care, not superficial self-care.
Right.
It's that real important self-care is what it sounds like. And again, all those 7 words are exactly what Pluto requires of us. And since we have 2 planets already making their connections to Pluto, I mean, Pluto is just moving along, you know, like a slow freight train. And, you know, there's no stopping it. However, what happens is once in a while, like when these planets connect with it, they add their information to it, because they're moving around the solar system, obviously way faster than Pluto. And so they're gathering information. And then when they make a connection to an outer planet like this, in the way they infuse what they know and what they've learned, just the energetics of picking up energy through each of the zodiac signs, and they share it with Pluto. So Pluto's like, oh, I've got this little message. Now we need to focus on what people value and how that can change. And then Mercury comes through and says, well, we gotta change the message. What's the message now? What information am I receiving? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's nonstop. It's nonstop.
Right.
So,
Mercury retrograde is in Aquarius. It starts in Aquarius. So that's the air sign. So that's about voice and talking.
and
then it moves to-
information. Yeah, but information, because Aquarius is that high vibe air sign. So it is about what do I believe? The information, the ideas, the thoughts that I have. And yeah, it's that type of thing. And yeah.
Okay, so then it switches to Capricorn, which is earthy. So it's going to help ground us.
Yes. So I think while it's retrograde, more information comes through. Because like I said, I mean, I've been reading some things lately and watching a few things, and a lot of things from the end of last year and the beginning of this year are starting to come to this, you know, more information. And this is what we get with this.
Right. Now, this also came to my mind as I was sitting here. It's information that swings around from the past.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good point. Yeah. Good point. I didn't say that. You're right.
Right.
Because we're reevaluating.
New information we're going to be receiving. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a great way to look at that. So, so we're looking for things to, you know, the planets are telling us things need to shift and change. And again, it's not just superficial. Whatever things are in motion that we need to really pay attention to. And, you know, one of the bigger things is that this degree of Capricorn, and once we get to March, Mars will be through there by then too. And Venus and Mars will come through there at 27 degrees of Capricorn. And this is all within 1 degree of the United States, Pluto. So this is mundane astrology, meaning, what's happening in the world, not personal. Pluto return. This is our first Pluto return. So typically when nations have Pluto come back 244-ish years, there's a deep, profound change in that country's systems and what's going on. And we are in this deep change. It's very revolutionary. There's a lot of revolutionary things going on. And, we're not going to collapse, but we are definitely in the throes of some deep, deep changes.
Right, which we need. We all need it. No, and we don't like change. So most people don't. A lot of people do, but I mean, I'm a little bit slow at change. I like to be very calculated. But I think that it was going to happen. We can't stop it. It's going to happen. So we have to learn more about it, which is through you, through numerology. Just keep our knowledge up, and then it's not so fearful. You're not so scared all the time.
And do the things that make you feel secure. That's really so important. What makes you feel secure? Like you were saying, if you watch the weather and there's a storm coming, you're going to bring in extra wood. It's been so long since I've done that. I miss that. It kept me in shape carrying that wood. I rarely split the wood. I let the guys do that, but
I love to work with wood. I love it.
So I miss it.
Ounce of it.
The wood stove. I miss that. Anyways, I digress, but it's just personally. But what makes you feel secure? I mean, I don't want you to go out and panic buy things, but do you feel secure? Because what you fill in that blank for you. And so do that now. And it's not about holiday shopping. Have fun, enjoy whatever you do, but it's not about frivolous spending. It's about what makes me feel secure. I have plenty of batteries if the power goes out, because it's winter, we lose power. I've got what I need to keep myself warm. Just that, to me, that's just normal New England Yankee readiness,
But that's survival. That's being a survivor. And you need to prepare to survive. And preparing is making what makes you feel good inside.
It does. And again, not from fear, but just from, I know I like these things. I want this comfort food in case I can't get out for a couple of weeks, or that rarely happens, but we don't have storms like that. In the 60s, we had storms like that. We don't have storms like that anymore.
Yes, we did. They were fun too.
I know. It snowed to here. All right. Can I answer any questions that have come to your mind that I was not quite clear on?
No, I just think that it's wonderful that we sit down and we talk about this. I hope that the people that are watching this, if they have any questions, they reach out to you or they reach out to me.
And make the comments. I'll put this will be on YouTube. So put your comments below, and because I'm always answering them. It's just me running the show on all of that. So I answer all the comments, and
and if you have any questions about numerology, you can text me at 207-907-5446, or go to my website, healing numbers 22, that's the numbers 22.com.
Excellent. And I put that link.
Yeah, my questions are answered within 24 hours.
Yeah, me too. I mean, even when I'm on my phone, it's
I love questions. I love questions. Makes me think.
It does. It does. I like that too. There's some people that would just really make you, they push you to really dig into something you didn't think of, because everybody has a different perspective. But all of those will be, I always put a link to your website in the content below the video on YouTube. So all of that's there too. So everybody can just click on that.
And Dorothy has a new website too.
I know. It's so exciting. I did a YouTube live for it, but it was so, it wasn't great, but I've never done YouTube live, and it's really hard.
Oh, is it? I've never done it.
Yeah. You can't see things.
Oh,
if they're asking questions, I digress. Okay. I think that's it for me.
That's it for me too. I thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
And again, if anybody has any questions, please reach out. We love questions.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Blessings.
you. Bye.